hell is going on? Oh, by the way, the one and only Tim Tebow, my friend, he'll be on the show talking about his college football weekend. And did you hear the news? Drew Brees will be starting this Sunday against the Kansas City Chiefs. Drew Brees, Patrick Mahomes, Lord have mercy. We got a lot to talk about. First take in the house. Let's go.
Let's go out there and make the play. 1, 2, 3.
Taysom Hill, he is a weapon.
Let's go.
We knew what was at stake, and we worked really hard to be in the driver's seat.
Pat does it better than anybody in the league. When adversity hits, his level of play goes up.
Patrick Mahomes,
touchdown! We're a complete football team that just finds ways to win.
Hello, everybody. Welcome on into First Take on this Friday. We have a lot to talk about today heading into a big weekend in the NFL. I'm Charlie Arnold. We got Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman here. And Stephen A., you already broke the news, but we're going to get into a little more detail. That's right. Breaking news to start off First Take. This, according to Adam Schefter. Drew Brees will start this weekend against the Chiefs. And as we all know, Brees has not played since Week 10 because of a rib injury. He was activated off IR this week. He has been practicing, and now it is confirmed he will be starting against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. So, Stephen A., I'm going to start with you here. Do you think that the Saints are making the right decision here?
You're damn right they're making the right decision. He's Drew Brees. What else is there to talk about? He's Drew Brees. You're damn right they're making the right decision. Make no mistake about it. I know he's over 40 years of age, Max. I know there's a lot of dust being collected on that birth certificate. I know all of those things, Max Kellerman, but I will tell you this, in the end, here's what it comes down to. You roll the dice. You take the chance. He's coming back. You can always reinsert Taysom Hill. He knows he's the backup to Drew Brees. You can always throw those packages in play because it's Sean Payton, his experience with Drew Brees, the number of years they've been working together. He knows what adjustments may need to be made and what have you. You throw Drew Brees in there. This is it for him. This is possibly his swan song. He's got an opportunity to go up against Patrick Mahomes. You can't deny Drew Brees that opportunity. Last time we saw him, he was complete 73% of his passes, 18 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions on the season, a quarterback rating of 110 for crying out loud. He's Drew freaking Brees. You throw him in there. Do I have some trepidation? Maybe a little bit, but damn it, that's what I'll go with, Max. Yeah, you play him.
This is a bold move by the Saints. It's a bold move because I know people think, well, the way you want to beat Mahomes is ball control. In fact, you have a better chance beating the Chiefs in a shootout than you have in any other kind of game. And you have a guy on the roster in Jameis Winston who can win shootouts. Even though he gave the other team 112 points last year when he was on the Bucs, that's why Tom Brady took over, right? That's an upgrade. Just don't turn the ball over. And he threw those 30 interceptions. He did lead the league in yards and throw 33 touchdowns. So Jameis actually, in a strange way, gives you a chance to win that game. And Taysom Hill ain't bad. The fact that they're going with Drew Brees tells you a lot. You mentioned his swan song, Stephen A. The man is 40 years old, coming back from 11,000 fractured ribs and a lung and I mean, to insert him now tells you how big the Saints see this game. It's not just that he needs a little runway before the playoffs, because the Saints are legit Super Bowl threats this year. This may be the best overall team that Brees has been on since the Super Bowl team. Both sides of the ball. It's not just that. It's that when you look at the Saints and you look at the Packers, there's only one bye in each conference this season. Only one team gets a bye. And the Saints looked like it was going to be them, but the Packers are hot on their tail. And when you think about the Saints at home, it's one thing to say they play better at home in a dome, climate controlled. That's true. And they'd have a disadvantage on the road. Without fans, maybe that's not quite what it would normally be in most circumstances. But Stephen A., the frozen tundra in the winter. I mean, not only do the Saints want that bye, but the Saints don't want to have to go to Green Bay, don't want to have to go to Lambeau Field to get out of the NFC. This tells you how big a game this is for Drew Brees, Sean Payton, and the Saints. And this is a bold and gutsy move to start him now instead of giving him a little more time to rest up for the playoffs.
It's a bold and gutsy move, Max, but are you saying it's the right call or not?
It is the right call. he can go.
Okay.
They got to play him. This is a huge game because of what I just mentioned.
Okay. All right. I understand.
Okay,
You know,
well,
Max,
both
I'm
of you
proud
excited
because
to see-
you're agreeing with me in this particular situation. You're showing that your football knowledge is elevating, my brother. Way to go. Way to go. You start off the show, even though we normally disagree, you're siding with me. Smart move to start off this Friday. We can go on, Charlie.
All right. Well, we know Patrick Mahomes is excited. He already said earlier this week he was just a bit disappointed if Drew Brees wasn't going to play because, after all, guys, they're both Texas boys, if you didn't already know that. But let's talk about the game last night, Thursday Night Football. We had ourselves a game, Chargers, Raiders, and Derek Carr, he did leave the game with an injury. Marcus Mariota stepping in his place, doing a fantastic job, but it just wasn't enough to outduel Justin Herbert and company. So, Max, what is the biggest story from last night's game?
Justin Herbert's the biggest story. Justin Herbert's having one of the greatest rookie seasons in the history of football at the quarterback position. And the team is talented, but they have, I'd say, the second worst coach in football right now behind Adam Gase, and it's holding Justin Herbert back. Justin Herbert's the story. By the way, the Raiders showed a lot of pluck yesterday, and Mariota played well. You know, you lose your starting quarterback, a guy comes in off the bench and plays like that, gives you a chance to win, and you're in overtime. It's not like you're just playing an opponent that's looking to go away. And Anthony Lynn, who makes a lot of mistakes clock managing at the end of games and just play calling throughout the game, I think has not really tapped into Justin Herbert's full potential. And what is that potential? You know, who is he most often compared to? Let me tell you the names that I've heard. On this show, I've heard you, Stephen A. Smith, compare him to who? Who did you compare him to? Do you remember?
Who are you talking about, Justin Herbert?
Yes.
I think I brought up Dan Marino.
You compared him to Dan Marino. And once upon a time, when you wanted to say the most talented ever, you would say Dan Marino. And you know who else I've heard him compared to on this network, on Get Up, Stephen A? Patrick Mahomes. Now, I ain't saying he's Marino or Mahomes, but Dan Marino was an awesome rookie, and in his second year was the MVP of the league. Patrick Mahomes, in his second season, but his first year starting, was the MVP of the league. That means the best player in football, Marino and Mahomes. And I'm not saying Herbert's quite that, but he is compared to those guys for a reason. And right now, if you were to say, rank the quarterbacks in the NFL, I know he's a rookie. I know he hasn't shown what he could do with a real coach yet. I know they have a losing record. I would only take 5 guys ahead of him, Stephen A. I'd take Mahomes. I would take Aaron Rodgers. I'd take Russell Wilson. I'd take Deshaun Watson. I would take Josh Allen, but I don't think for long. I would put Justin Herbert ahead of everyone else. If I had a signal caller to hand the ball to win a game, give me Justin Herbert. And understand, this is with a coach, Stephen A., who's calling quarterback sneaks and bootlegs when the defense knows it's coming. You know, even when Herbert takes a sack, it's the right thing to do. You can't throw the ball away in that situation. You're like, even when he takes, it could be intentional grounding, even when he takes a sack, you go, that's a smart play. It's not just the arm talent, which is ridiculous. He has a powerful arm. He's throwing laser beams and he's accurate down the field. His football IQ already, again, playing for a coach who's not getting the most out of him, is really very impressive. He doesn't have the evidence to say he's elite yet, but if you ask me who I'd take ahead of him, there are only 5 guys in the NFL right now.
Let me tell you why you're wrong. You're wrong, Max Kellerman, because you've been saying that about Justin Herbert for weeks. So ultimately, a story gets old. I'm not denying anything that you're saying about what we're seeing from him as a rookie. I've been very, very impressed with him. As far as I'm concerned, a strong candidate for Rookie of the Year honors, if not the flat-out winner. I love what I'm seeing from him, make no mistake about it. But I'm saying you've been saying that since the first week you saw him. So we've been talking about Justin Herbert week after week after week. Ultimately, you got to have a different headline. And as it pertains to this specific question about what we peel from last night's game, what I peel from it is John Gruden. John Gruden and the Las Vegas Raiders was 6-3. They have lost 4 of their last 5. Max, it should be 5 straight if it wasn't for the boneheaded defensive call by Greg Williams with 5 seconds left in the game against the Jets. The Las Vegas Raiders should be on a 5-game losing streak. That's unacceptable. This is John Gruden's third year. At the time, since he's arrived, they're like 18-28. I thought when they were 6-3, I called them my sleeper. I liked what I was seeing from them. Ever since then, they can't stop a cold. Their defense can't get it done when it counts. You got this kid Mullen and Nixon, both of your corners, making mistakes late in the game, giving up that 53-yard bomb last night, to basically put the Chargers in position to win the game. You're just watching some of the things that are taking place. You're the 30th.